Manage risk. Introduction to risk management. Risk management encompasses the identification, assessment, and response to uncertainty in order to achieve organizational objectives effectively. It involves balancing risk exposure with expected rewards, ensuring that neither excessive conservatism nor reckless risk-taking undermines performance. CIMA defines risk management as an integrated process embedded in strategic planning, operations, and performance measurement. The goal is not to eliminate risk but to manage it intelligently within acceptable boundaries. Effective risk management requires a structured framework for prioritizing risks, assigning responsibilities, and implementing control measures. It relies on both quantitative analytics and managerial judgment to align risk strategies with corporate governance principles. By managing risk systematically, organizations enhance decision quality, safeguard resources, and strengthen stakeholder trust, all essential components of sustainable business success. The TARA framework: transfer, avoid, reduce, accept. The TARA framework provides a structured approach to managing risk by categorizing potential responses into 4 strategies: transfer, avoid, reduce, and accept. Transfer involves shifting risk to third parties through mechanisms such as insurance, outsourcing, or hedging. Avoidance eliminates exposure altogether by discontinuing risky activities or rejecting projects with unacceptable uncertainty. Reduction mitigates risk likelihood or impact through improved controls, diversification, or process redesign. Acceptance acknowledges risk as inherent and tolerable when potential returns justify exposure. The choice of strategy depends on cost-benefit analysis, risk appetite, and organizational priorities. CIMA recommends using TARA in conjunction with risk mapping and probability impact matrices to ensure proportional responses. The framework provides clarity and consistency in decision-making, aligning tactical actions with strategic resilience objectives. Managing business risks across categories. Each category of business risk requires specific management responses. Strategic risks are addressed through continuous environmental scanning, scenario planning, and adaptive strategies. Operational risks are managed via internal controls, quality assurance, and process standardization. Financial risks, such as interest rate or currency exposure, are mitigated through hedging instruments and diversification of funding sources. Compliance risks demand rigorous monitoring of regulatory changes and ethical standards. CIMA highlights that risk management must be cross-functional, integrating finance, operations, and governance disciplines. Risk ownership should be clearly defined, with managers accountable for monitoring and escalation procedures. Embedding risk management in key business processes ensures that it becomes a proactive rather than reactive discipline, enabling organizations to anticipate threats and capitalize on emerging opportunities. Use of information systems and data analytics. Modern risk management increasingly relies on information systems and data analytics to detect, assess, and respond to emerging threats. Enterprise resource planning (ERP) systems integrate risk data across finance, supply chain, and operations, providing real-time visibility of key risk indicators. Predictive analytics and artificial intelligence enable early detection of anomalies, fraud, or market volatility. CIMA emphasizes that data-driven insights transform risk management from a static compliance function into a dynamic decision support system. Business intelligence dashboards allow managers to monitor risk metrics continuously and conduct what-if simulations. However, effective use of data requires governance around accuracy, security, and ethical application. The strategic advantage lies in converting data into foresight, using predictive modeling to preempt issues before they escalate into crises, thus strengthening organizational resilience. Behavioral and ethical aspects of managing risk. Effective risk management also depends on behavioral and ethical factors. A culture that encourages transparency and open communication ensures timely identification of emerging risks. Conversely, fear-based environments may lead to concealment or misreporting of problems. Ethical risk management demands integrity, fairness, and accountability in decision-making. Managers must evaluate whether risk responses align with stakeholder expectations and corporate values. For example, transferring risk through aggressive tax strategies or exploitative outsourcing may be legally permissible but ethically questionable. CIMA's Code of Ethics underlines that risk decisions should enhance long-term sustainability rather than short-term gain. Establishing a strong risk culture, supported by training, clear responsibilities, and consistent communication, promotes ethical decision-making and reinforces organizational trust. Integrating risk management into strategy and performance. Integrated risk management links risk control with strategic objectives and performance evaluation. Rather than treating risk as an isolated function, it becomes embedded in planning, budgeting, and performance monitoring. Tools such as balanced scorecards and key risk indicators, CRIS, connect risk exposure to strategic outcomes, enabling management to evaluate trade-offs systematically. CIMA promotes enterprise-wide frameworks where risk appetite is explicitly defined and communicated. This integration ensures alignment between risk-taking and value creation, allowing firms to pursue innovation confidently within controlled limits. Continuous monitoring and feedback loops enable adaptive learning from both successes and failures. Ultimately, managing risk is not about avoidance but optimization, leveraging uncertainty as a source of competitive advantage while safeguarding the organization's ethical, financial, and operational integrity.